Forget the rest. You're rocking with the best radio station on the planet. SDM Live Unplugged.
Yo, what's up? Peace. This brother Khalif, student enrollment. It's the name of the program. And we just gonna get it rolling today. Today's program is about management. So I want to start that off with. They say God don't never give you nothing you can't handle. That's basically saying that God don't never give you nothing you can't manage. So we really have to study management and how you manage in your life. You say you want better, but you're never gonna get better because you can't manage what you got. That's even same with money. That's literally what economics is. Economics is basically managing your resources to get more resources, starting with a little and getting a lot. So we really got to look at our own lives and say how we managing that. Like, if our relationship bad, how you managing that? Is it because you a bad manager? Is it poor management that's causing all this grief? Most times it's what it is. It's just like how you manage the whole situation. I just found it for like craziness. I was just thinking about management and how it's in everything in life. You know, we got stuff like time management. Like we got 24 hours in a day. Some people make $1 million in a day. Some people make $5 in a day. It's like how you manage that. They manage their time different than you manage your time. You know, some people. I mean, you got to just cop to it. Like a lot of us lazy. You know, because we don't manage our time well. We kind of hope for miracles too much. When you got enough time to where you don't need no miracles, it's just a matter of time. If you put in the work, if you keep it going, if you don't stop, if you got a real strategy, you should be able to achieve anything. So the time is our most valuable resource because you don't get it back. So if you use it and it's gone, it's just gone. But you can always get efficient. So you can get efficient with time. And a lot of us not efficient. And I'm learning how to be efficient. I'm learning so much more about management. Another area of management we got to look into is emotional management. In the Art of War, Sun Tzu said, he who angers you controls you. So if you can't manage your anger, you're likely to do what you didn't want to do in the first place. You're likely to say what you didn't want to say in the first place, and now you got to clean all that up, if you can clean it up. So you got to even manage what make you happy too, because that can be used against you. Actually, that's the first thing. A lot of people, if they want to use anything against you, they see what you like and they see what you dislike. And if you can't manage your emotions, it can be used against you, and you can't see. You got to think higher. You got to think above emotions. But we don't really do that, because it don't matter if you're happy or sad. You got to think, is this gonna better my situation? Like your goals don't care about your emotions. So it don't matter if you fat, you got to get the gym. They don't care about your emotions. If you broke, they don't care if you happy or sad about it. You gonna stay what you gonna stay until you put in that work. Also, I got 3 kids, so it's like if you got to manage them too. You know, they take up a lot of time, and they demand management, or else they're gonna run up all over you. You know, so you got to take each child and be like, all right, this is how your day gonna be. This is how you gonna structure. So, and they fall in line, but you got to be a real strong manager about that. Something really, you really got to learn how to manage your God-given gift. That's the reason you're here. And a lot of us don't really try to discover it or try to utilize it at all. But if you don't manage that, you'll always be in the same situation where you wish you would have did this, you wish you would have did this. It'll be year 4, year 5. Oh, I should do this. I always want to do that. It ain't never going to go away. And if you can manage that to become your best, and you probably get paid off that if you manage it well and you create value around yourself. And people come to see you because you're just that valuable, because you manage yourself that good. And we really, because that's the reason we here. You really got to learn to manage that. not let nothing get in the way, because you got to be worthy of praise. You know, we don't manage ourselves to a high level, so we think we doing good. I was telling somebody, I'm like, you think you're doing better in life? They're like, yeah. I'm like, out of what's 1 to 100? Like, what's better to you? You know, because if you're not honest, you could be doing better and still be doing bad. So if you're at a 10 and you get to 20, you can be like, I'm improving, I'm doing better. I'm like, yeah, but you're still failing. You're still failing. Because you really got to be honest with where we at. A lot of us, we don't take a real honest assessment into who we are, into what we're doing in life. So you really at a 10, but you wish you was at an 80, and you imagine you at 80 and you work from there, and you wonder why things don't work because you're not there yet. You know, we see we got Instagram. You know, just because you see all them girls don't mean you're gonna be able to get all them girls. It make you think you have an option you really can't explore because you're not honest. Or they say humility is knowing the reality of where you at, and a lot of us ain't humble. So you think you got all these options just because you can see them, but you don't got none of these options in real life. But in your mind, you do. So it causes you to miscalculate where you want to. It causes you to miscalculate how far you got to go to get there. Like, and you see all these success stories, all these quote unquote overnight stories. You're like, oh, all I got to do is start a business and boom, I'll make money. But it's so much work in that, and you don't even know where you at. Like, if you popular, it'll be easier for you because you can leverage that celebrity. But if nobody know you and you ain't got nothing to leverage, like, you can, no matter what, like, you put up on your Facebook page and you got 18 friends and you tell you nobody buying my stuff, you only got 18 people. You know, when the statistics go, like, if you study marketing, it's like you pass out 100 flyers, probably like 10 people gonna come. So you got to pass out 1,000 flyers to get 100 people that maybe come. Like, you're not even playing the numbers game because you know where you at. So you constantly miscalculate what it takes to win. So when you miscalculate, you can't manage it well. You know, and we just really got to get into that. We really got to get into proper management. And that takes proper management, takes honest assessment, because sometimes you're going to have to bring in somebody else. Sometimes the best management you can do is bring in somebody else who's like, look, I can't handle this. I need some help. If you can't handle your emotions, you got to bring in a therapist to help you manage you, because you don't know what you're doing. And you constantly keep making bad decisions. You're just not in a good place to manage yourself. And but we don't do that. We keep trying to hit our head into this wall. We keep running into failure. We keep on. And it just never happen. You know, I recently probably started doing like therapy like 6 months ago. I didn't think I needed it, but you know, I think it's you can't be black in America and not need therapy. Like, it's just so much trauma, like just growing up, constant white supremacy, institutional racism, self-hatred. Like, you gonna need it. So you got to make sure you're thinking right. So I learned a whole lot of tools in there that helped me operate better. And I learned a lot about trauma and how it affected me so I can act differently. But we as black folks, we look at therapy weird, like you don't need it, but we self-medicate all the time. We go get high and self-medicate. We go get drunk and go and self-medicate, or whatever your drug of choice is. But it don't change nothing. You don't operate at a higher level. You just kind of forget. So you go end up right back in the situation. You don't ever make better decisions, and that's the goal, to make better decisions. Because karma is a loop. So if you don't, the purpose, like when you study Buddhism, karma is a loop until you reach enlightenment and you go into another loop. So you can be in a bad relationships, and you leave that relationship and get to another bad relationship because you never reached enlightenment. So you find yourself in a loop. attracting the same thing, doing the same thing, and you never leave the loop because you never really, like from a prior show, you never really changed yourself. You never really managed to get better. You never really managed, it's like people, it's a reason why it seems like bad people get more out of life than good people. Only because bad people manage their time well. Like, they don't be chilling, they be grinding every day. They don't take no, and because they know it's a high risk. They really can't sleep, but they'd rather do that than sit at home. You know, a lot of good people think they too good to grind every day. You know, I know some drug dealers, they be at it every day. They just don't sleep. So they end up getting more, but it's more risk. And they don't get me wrong, it's bad, but they tell God, I'm gonna manage this. You know, they get a kilo and say, I'm gonna manage this kilo, and they manage the kilo. And you don't even ask for nothing, so you're not even managing nothing, and you feel like, well, they're not happy, but I'm like, you're not happy either, though. So what's the trade-off there, really? Because, like I said, you think because you're good, you know, good things supposed to happen to you, but you not managing nothing. You're not asking for more. You're not doing more. So how could you ever manage more? Or just, you might have everything you need already, but you just never put yourself out there. You know, especially with guys, it don't really matter. Like, I met one guy, he was like, look, man, you talk to 10 girls, get 5 girl numbers, you bang 2. Like, it's just a number game. But he managed to get over his feelings and hit the numbers. And a lot of us don't never manage to do it. You know, I'm a good guy, blah, blah, blah. You know, people just supposed to see that. But no, you got to put yourself out there. You got to manage it well. It's all management. It's emotional management. It's like, can you go to work even when you don't want to go to work? Can you go to work tired? Can you work through that tiredness? Because sometimes you got to work through that tiredness to get that second win. You know, and only people who grind know about a second win. A lot of people just, like, if you're not in it, if you don't really try, you'll never find a second win. You'll just never find it. There's a lot of people stop when they're tired. Especially, like, I had to figure out that when you're working out, because I hated jogging. But you jog after a minute, you find a second win. But if you stop every time you hit that wall, you'll never find a second win. And a lot of us don't ever manage to keep going long enough to realize that this ain't, like, second win really show you that, like, a second win is really that it's a mental barrier you got to pass. Because you think something is hard. And once you into it, you realize it's not that hard. And the mental strain off your body leave. That's what really a second win is. But a lot of times, we can't never get past that mental strain. So we stuck into the same, like I said, going back to karma, you stuck in that same loop. You never get out. You know, I know people like you can laugh, drink, party, and down that same corner, like, because you stuck in that loop. I mean, look at the marketers. Like, they don't even got to do different stuff. They just up there. They just up there selling us the same thing. You know, Gucci don't care what their stuff look like. They just put Gucci on it. You know, Versace the same way. They don't really care, but we just up doing it. 'Cause that's what we do. You know, we stuck in the loop. So we really got to get out of the loop. You really got to get out there karmically. You got to manage to get out your loop. You got to look at yourself real honestly and be like, I'm lazy. You know, or if you dumb, just call it like it is. Dumb, go study. We live in a situation where knowledge is free. Like, you can go on YouTube and learn anything. You can go on YouTube and learn anything. I'm gonna say it one more time. You can go on YouTube and learn anything. You can go on the internet and learn anything. You can find a mentor for anything. You can find a class for anything. So it's just a matter, like, are you willing to pay some money for it? Because, you know, information, like Les Brown said, information is expensive, but it pays for itself. So sometimes, if, like I said, you're going to have to get out your own way. If you can't do something, go get a mentor, go get a life coach, you know, go get a trainer, go get somebody to help you out, and that's what you got to do. So so this is some of my first shows. So I'm gonna just go ahead and keep it going. I got a whole hour, so I'm learning how to manage an hour. Last week I got to 15 minutes. I'm gonna try to get to 20, 30 minutes, y'all. So just bear with me. I might ramble a little bit, but I'm learning how to do it. I'm managing. So I'm getting used to speaking to people. I'm gonna get more co-hosts in soon, so it'll be easy for me to bounce ideas back. You know, because I find myself working better when I see somebody process something, and then I like can find more intuition as you know it's a better flow that way. So I guess let's stick back to the management. How do you manage to be the best you? So, like I said, let's just take it back. Well, just take it me. You know, I realize that I'm a slacker, so I'm learning that the way I manage my time is gonna help me be less of a slacker. So, what do? I'll go to the end of the day, and I see, okay, you had 24 hours. You know, I got a job, so that's 10 hours out of my day. So that leaves me with 14 hours. I'm only taking 4 to sleep. So I got 10 hours to make something else happen for me. So I got a family. So I take 4 of those hours to be with my family. So I'm down to 6 hours. So I got 6 hours between, basically I got 6 hours between 2:30 and 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, 7:30, 8:30. 2:30 and 8:30 to make something happen. You know, I got a vegan cookie business. You know, I like the shirts too, so I got a t-shirt business too. So I got to make that happen. That's when you split that hours, that's 3 hours a piece. But like I said, like the thing about it is when you manage to sell one, you got to manage to sell two, and then you manage to sell three. But the thing about management, the more you do it, the more effective and efficient you get. So I'm just learning how to do that stuff better. You know, Navy Blue Baking Company.com. You can go get your vegan cookies from. But it's just management. It's like, don't we gotta win eventually? You know, a lot of us don't want to win at all. You don't have to win at all, but I think you want to win. I think that's the most important thing you can do is like win in your way. When I'm saying, I was talking to someone and they told me, heaven could be anything, which my heaven ain't your heaven. I'm like, I believe that heaven can be anything, but I believe that heaven has a lot of similarities. I believe that if you, like in the real world, like you can't say you in heaven if you don't have some type of money, because money makes the world go round. Unless you exactly just living off the land. If you're okay with hunting, if you're okay with fishing, if you're okay with no technology, I think you can be happy. I think you can find heaven in a patch of dirt where you can plant your seeds, build a house, like Amish people, but you just be disconnected to the world. But if you live in this society and you looking for heaven, you're going to need a little bit of money because you're going to need a phone. You're going to need internet. You're going to need electricity. You're going to need heat. You're going to need gas. You're going to need water. You're going to need groceries. So if you need all of that, so you can't not have, if like I said, if you're not living on the land, you can't have heaven without money. So we end up like the Bible saying money answers all things. Because it do. What you gonna do? How you gonna go get it? You know, we can stay at a job, but you stay at a job, and the thing that happened is you get stuck there because, like I said, like I got only 6 hours left, and it take a lot to get off work and go home and be a father, be a brother, be a husband, or I could just skip all of that and go straight into entrepreneurship mode, and hopefully they understand. But they can't miss me like that. You know, I have a reality to uphold. You know, my family has a reality, and I have to uphold that reality. So I have to figure out how to do it and keep that reality up. You know, you like Atlas. You got the world on your shoulders. If you shrug, the whole world trembles. Like you can't even shrug. That means you gotta get used to being like like um like dope. I used to have a mentality about um that it's okay. Like it don't matter if it's bad, as long as it gets better, it's okay. So I would never start things right because I'm like, if the end result is cool, it's good. So I'll start things terribly wrong. And you know, I can't do that with a family. You know, I can't be like, look, I spent the rent money, but it's gonna be okay when we get kicked out. We're gonna we're gonna do this, this, and that. You know, it's like because I got a family, um, I can't drop that. Like I said, when like if you the center of your reality, you like Atlas. You know, you can't shrug. So I gotta make moves without my family ever knowing nothing. So that heat can't never go off. That gas can't never go off. That you know, the bills always have to stay on. So I got to figure out how to do it like that, and that's harder because I don't want them to feel the strain. But it's rewarding because it's like you got this much time, and people can do it in that much time. People can. And I have to figure out how to manage my time efficiently that way. And I'm figuring it out. The more you do it, the better you get. You just gotta keep your head up, stay in the water like that. I'm sorry. Like, I'm doing good, y'all. I'm past 20 minutes. But yeah, like I said, a lot of it is just being honest, and a lot of it is like you gotta listen to the woman in your life. Like your woman is your reflection. And a lot of times we can't handle what's reflected back on us. She is like your subconscious. She is telling you what's wrong with you. Like I don't care how slow this woman is, how dumb this woman is, how much she don't care about you. She can just look at you. She spend some time with you. She will tell you what's wrong with you. You gotta listen. I don't know why they can do that, but they can do that. They can just tell you what's wrong. Just fix it. You know, if your girls be like, "Oh my goodness, like you're not romantic," you know, you not. Then fix it. Don't be like you said. The other girlfriends they said you were romantic. Like you just not romantic. The other girls probably didn't say nothing, but like they always say something that's in common. They always do, and you have to listen. This is how you fix yourself. That's why it's so hard to be a man without a woman because she the only one who can study you. Like she know how to get you. That's why they always be getting in, that's how like always be getting these dudes through a woman because she study you better. She know. I mean, unless you just an excellent liar, and they got intuition, so you can't even lie. Like, I guess like you got to be like stone cold, just like best poker face, best poker player ever. Because they're going to do stuff to piss you off and they're going to put you back. They're going to make you tell them how you feel about them. They're going to put you like that. They're going to try you like that. That's why dealing with women is the best way to get over your emotions. Like, that's what I learned. I learned if you, whenever you get in your emotions, if you can't manage your emotions well, you can't manage relationships well. Like your woman will definitely put you in your emotions, and your woman teach you not to be emotional because she constantly trying to put you in your emotions. And when she puts you in your emotions, you lose every fight because you ain't gonna out emotion no woman. Like that's why sometimes a lot of like dudes be like, that's where that we get that domestic violence is because you let your emotions like take over, but like your woman tries to teach you that you can't get too emotional because that ain't your space. You got to be logical. Cause like she just keep trying to put you in that emotion, and she'll stop the more logical you are. But you just got to keep being logical. If you don't manage your emotions, like they just know how to press a button. Like they just know your button. Like I said, it's something about them. They just you think you can get you an easy chick, and she ain't gonna press your buttons. She gonna press your buttons just like a hard chick can press your buttons. Like, but you got to manage your emotions. Like I said, they keep you in your emotions till you master that. So you got to learn to like just chill. If you're getting mad, chill, because once you get mad, the argument lost. Like once you like they say some stupid stuff. I'm like it was one time like I was speeding and I thought the police was about to pull me over, but they didn't pull me over. So I'm like, man, I got lucky. And she was like, but you could have got pulled over. I'm like, oh my goodness, but I didn't get pulled over. She's like, but you couldn't but you could have got pulled over. So, but she playing all these imaginary scenarios, and I'm like, none of that actually happened. But now she's sitting up here, got you into something that didn't even happen, and now you arguing over something that didn't happen, and now you getting emotional. But you gotta she'll be like, look, I get it. I probably should have been doing the right thing. I didn't. Take this as a lesson. I'm gonna slow down. But it's hard if you can't bring yourself down because you're just gonna keep going up. You're gonna keep going up. You're gonna keep going up. You gotta manage that emotion. You gotta manage that. And once you manage that, she'll let you manage you. She'll let you manage her. Once you manage your emotions. But you gotta. But like I said, like you still gotta listen to her because she'll tell you what's wrong with you, and you just gotta listen. Don't argue with her. If that's probably what's wrong with you anyway. Just fix it. What else we got? Oh, shoot. Approaching 30 minutes. About to hit a new record. That's what's up. So I guess I went with emotional. I went with time. Yeah, we can go talk on the gift a little bit. It's like the reason I feel like I can help people with a word is I didn't know I was this analytical or into had a lot of intuition like that. I was like 16. I just realized I was dumb. It's like every other word. No, I was 14. I realized I was dumb, and every other word it was like dog or something like that. But I didn't do nothing until I was 16. I started reading books. I could actually understand them. I liked that better than actual school. So I just stayed in books for a minute. So I ended up learning so much. I didn't even know I could like just access the world that way. But I luckily found my gift. But a lot of us, we don't know. We just got to figure. I mean, we do know, but it's hard to like be free to do it because we got a lot of it's a lot of weight on you sometimes if you don't feel free to do it. And you want to do other things, you know, because sometimes you know what you should be doing, but it's something you really, really want to do, so you want to just do that instead. You got to learn how to get out your own way. And like I said, you get other people, you got to look for others to co-sign, because if this is what you're supposed to do, others will be co-signing. You know, I know some people who think they can rap. Nobody co-sign them, but they co-sign themselves. But like, you don't want, like, that's not the case. Other people got to do it. And then, unless you're just one of them few people who nobody think you good and you just prove them wrong, but that don't really happen. That's like a lot of times we think we the exception to the rule, but we not. But most people, it's the rule. So a lot of times you be like, nah, you can't do that, and they're like, what you mean you just hating? Like, no, you just not the exception, and you gotta be okay with that. You know, like I said, like you gotta, if you can't manage yourself, like get somebody else. Like try to make somebody else a believer. If this is what you think you can do, and you can't make nobody else believe you, like it's gonna stay with you. Cause that's like you're not special until you can prove it. Like it don't matter. Like even you get you got the prophet Noah. He wasn't special until the world flooded. He proved himself right, and he was preaching and building that like ark for like 150 years. Like he wasn't special until then. Like until you drop, until you blow, like that's when you become special. That's just the name of the game. Like Jay-Z ain't become a billionaire. He became a billionaire. He can rap about it all he wanted. I'm gonna be this. I'm gonna be that. $500 million, whatever. But when he became one, he was that's when you got special. Same when he became a millionaire, you got special. You know, a lot of us think we special at like $8,000, $10,000, $50,000. That's not special. The average black man make $40,000 a year, and you got to take a look at yourself. That's why I was talking about being honest. You got to take a look at yourself. 40 is average. Like you an average dude. You can be the nicest man in the world, but this is what you're producing. Your production is average, so you average. So you gotta see that and be like, I'm gonna do twice as much. Then you're not average. If you 1.5, that's what 40. That's 60. So you above average. 15% of the population make over $70,000 a year. That's why they say most of the wealth is in the 1%, because you got 15% only make over 70,000. So if you 60 and down, well, 60 is above average, I would say. But if you like 40 and down, you average and below average. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you cool with that, you cool with that. But if you want to be great, it's just a lot of work to do, because that's why it's worse, good, and great. Some people find being worse. Some people look at the bums. They walk around, they don't got no house. They sleep on the ground. They cool with that. You know, some people will never do. Some people, like great people, will never find they self in that situation for long, because you don't know what God planned for you, and you don't know how you mess yourself up. Because that's why God be sending crisis on you. He lets you know that you missed something. Go learn that so you can get out the crisis so you can get out that crisis. You know, sometimes when something bad happens to you, it's because you were supposed to learn something. Instead of being like, oh, woe was me, you got to get back up. So, like I said, great people never stay down long. Everybody can fall. That's just the name of the game. Everybody can fall. But you got to get up. So, and you got to be honest with yourself. Like I said, like 40K is average. So you got to be doing better than that if you want to. But you don't have to. But just wherever, honestly, you want to be. You know, some people cool. You know, work hard. You can't really, like, get in a 401k, and Social Security is about to be gone by the time we get old. So it's a little different. But before, you could just work hard, go get you a pension, and have a good house, have a good family, and you could die. Like, for the past probably like 100 years, you can do that. But you can't do that no more, because, like I said, healthcare about to go through the roof. I mean, not healthcare, but Social Security already running out of money, so it's about to be run out of money. And like my dad, he had a pension from the city of Detroit, and when Detroit went into bankruptcy, you know, he lost a lot of his pension. So you can work a good job, and that pension can be messed up. So you can't even really work religiously. Like, it's a guy at my job. I think he said he's like 69 years old. He's still working. Don't get me wrong. If he, but he working because he don't want to stay at home. It's just burning up time. So that's different. But then you got the other 69-year-olds who need that check, who living from check to check, and that's a bad management of time to be here that long. Actually, like, what's that dude's name? Ryan's World. That dude, like a year ago, or I think like 2 years ago, he was like 8 years old, and he had brought in $26 million just off opening toy products. We just live in a society where it's like, well, I don't want to say it's in a society. We live in a time where there's so many different ways to get money, and ignorance, and persistent. The things that's I was listening to a podcast with the Spectacular from Pretty Ricky. The first time like I seen it, I'm like, nah, I'm not about to watch this. It's Pretty Ricky. But I was bored enough, and I was at work, and it was one of them days where you watched everything already. So I listened to it, and I didn't know how much of a genius he was. Like, the dude is like a marketing genius. He graduated at Harvard Business School. He making his own business school. I didn't even know. But he said there's three things that's going to make you successful. He said persistence, consistency, and networking. And that just hit me, because you got to keep going, and then you got to stay. Like, you got to be like it's there's a difference between persistence and consistency. Persistence is when you keep that energy level up, when you keep that drive going, and consistent is just keep doing it again and again. It don't have to be up or down. It just has to be consistently. Boom, I'm here Monday. Like, it's the days of the week. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's consistent. Persistence is different, but consistency is just showing up every day. You ain't got to be good or bad. As long as you're here every day, you consistently. Perfect attendance. But when you put in that energy, and then you add the networking skills, so when you do get somewhere, you able to have them soft skills to get people to like you, to influence people to invite you somewhere. I mean, you gonna make it fire. Like I said, like, I didn't even know that dude was like that. And that's another thing. You really can't even judge a book by its cover. Like, some of these people, like, you don't know how much money they got. You don't even know. And it's not about the money. When I talk about money, it's production. It's just different realities. It's how you think, because a poor person and a rich person look at life totally different. So the way a poor person look at cheap is like $10, $20. That's cheap. So a rich person, like, I give you a better example. So if a personal trainer costs $350, a poor person to say that's expensive. A rich person to say that's cheap. The difference is the poor person look at cheap as a dollar sign, and a rich person think it's cheap as time. So they be like, if I pay $350 and I can have my body cool in a couple of months, yeah, that'll save me so much time. But a poor person look at it like, this costs too much money. I don't really want to invest the money. So that's why poor people end up having all of them cavities, because it's cheaper just to get a filling than to have a root canal. But you wait and you wait and you wait and you wait and you wait. Next thing you know, you need a whole root canal because you could have just got you a filling. Because you look at things different. We just look at stuff way different. And that's when I really started studying, like, mentality. Like, rich people just manage life totally different. It's like I was talking to my homeboy in Texas. When that winter storm hit, he was like, man, everybody was messed up. I said, yeah, the difference is the poor people, you just hope it's not going to happen again. The rich people, they're preparing. They know it's going to happen again sooner or later, and they getting their infrastructure together. So you got to understand, like, every time a crisis hit, a poor person never prepare for it. So he just wait for it to happen again. And that's why a lot of times, like, when you when somebody end up asking for money, they're always going to borrow money, because they're not trying to get themselves out that condition. They're just trying to, like, a lot of us, we just try to stay afloat. We don't try to get out the water. Rich people try to get out the water. Poor people just try to stay afloat. That's why a lot of times that same friend to keep asking for money, and you enable him, but you don't understand, you just enabling him. Help him get out the water. Like, stopping him from drowning, because that's what we end up doing. And that's all we can do, because if I'm broke and you broke, I only can stop you from drowning. I can't really help you get out the water. But that's what we got to do. We got to think about getting out the water, because, like I said, the old guy at work, I was like, "What's up, Jeff?" He was like, "What's up?" I was like, he was like, "Oh yeah, man, I'm hanging in there." I'm like, "When you gonna climb up? Like, you still hanging in there, man? Like, come on." But like I said, some people like that. Some people like that. So so that's 40 minutes. I'm gonna wrap it up about 40 minutes. That was longer than I thought it would be. I think I'm rambling anyway, but this is about to be the end of my show. Thanks for listening. I'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Make a move, make it matter. Yeah. Forget the rest.
How y'all feeling?
You're rocking with the best radio station on the planet. SDM Live Unplugged.